they say tables will turn. Duncan Hemba, KTN News, Nairobi.
So one thing that is coming to the fore, even as all those political campaign teams hit the ground, is the amount of money that is already being spent at this point. Even 75 days still to go to the August 8th general election. And helicopters has become the main mode of transport for many of these politicians. The Kenya Civil Aviation registering dozens of helicopters this year alone. Our senior political affairs reporter Chris Tairo now reports on this, even on the background, against the background of the campaign financing regulations.
A show of might and flamboyance that was displayed by the opposition NASA during their political rally at Afra Stadium a week ago. Each of the 5 NASA principals arriving in a chopper, landing one after the other in a show of political and financial muscle. And with less than 3 months to the August 8th elections, the politics of the sky seems to be the style being adopted by most of the politicians. However, it is not a cheap affair if one does not own one. To hire a 5-seater chopper for 1 hour, one will have to cough between 150,000 to 200,000 shillings. However, most companies offer a minimum of 2 hours, which will cost 400,000 shillings and cost only charged on flight time and not when the plane is on the ground.
If you're to lease a helicopter, you'd have to do it per hour. So depending on what agreement you come up with the owner, they can say a minimum of 50 hours a month. So if you do the math, the 50 hours times $1,700, then that's the amount of money you will pay.
To purchase a helicopter, for instance, an AS350 Eurocopter, which is common, will cost 230 million shillings for ex-factory price, but the cost of transportation, assembly and insurance pushes the cost up to 300 million shillings. Parking the chopper per night at Wilson Airport is 10,000 shillings and 1,000 shillings for every landing they make. The insurance for a chopper ranges between 8 to 10 million shillings.
What the client has to provide for us is security. Because now with what happened the last few times when people were actually hanging onto the helicopters, it's not safe.
However, the branding of choppers has been banned for now.
Fortunately, this time around you can't brand the helicopters due to security. So the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority has said no branding during this campaign period. They do not want, if let's say you fly in an area where they do not like you, for lack of a better word, you do not want to stir up any kind of hostilities.
The number of politicians who own choppers has significantly increased. However, there are those who have decided to lease it for the few remaining months to the general elections.
We have put all the infrastructure in place. Equipment, vehicles, choppers. We have mapped out the country. The president will go to one side of the country. The deputy will go to the other side of the country.
We are not leaving any region of this country to Jubilee. We are going to take the war, our electoral war or competition to the doorstep of Jubilee. And that means we will campaign across the country.
Others have also taken the campaign game a notch higher by branding the fleet of campaign vehicles. Car branding cost between 19,000 shillings and 23,000 shillings, while branding vans cost 26,000 shillings and above. Those who erect billboards have been forced to part with not less than 300,000 shillings for a period of 1 month. Given that the courts temporarily suspended the implementation of the election campaign